Missouri invented the vacuum booster for vacuum brakes, and GM took it. And it cost them something like $50,000.
They had to pay him?
They had to pay him.
Don't worry about it.
Sears and Roebuck, a man come to sell them a deal to put on the vacuum cleaner to dust Venetian blinds. 40 years ago, everything was Venetian blinds. They weren't interested, but they went right ahead and built it. And they got stuck with it.
But you don't know whether the guy lost money fighting for it. You know, I don't want to bankrupt.
All you got to do is go to a patent attorney, a legal patent attorney, and they'll do it for you. You can get stuck bad on infringement. Now, if I build something and infringe on your patent and I don't know you've got it, you can't hurt me other than make me pay 6% interest to you on royalty, because I don't have to get a search before I make it. But if you come to me and want to sell me your idea and I'm telling you I'm not interested, then I build it, then that is not infringement, that's fraud. You saw these semis where the one axle is lifted up? All right? The man that patented that wanted to sell it to a trailer company that weren't interested. They went ahead and built it for 3 years, and they got stuck for $3 million. They built that man's patent. They knew he had a patent. It wasn't infringement, it was fraud.
Because they said that it was okay to build it.
No, they told the man they didn't want his patent, they wasn't interested.
Okay.
So, but they went right ahead and they built it.
Well, what it is I know all these engineering things that are, you know, how a transistor works and all that. And my thing is, in any invention of a new technology, it's just I grab pieces from this thing and pieces from that thing, and I made something that somebody would want. But every piece in that, a company can go. I went to Radio Shack and bought all the parts and added some of my own. But nothing in there is unique. It's just a unique use of things that have already been invented. And I feel like all I did was look it all up.
Yeah, that's what he's saying is he can't patent those things that he bought from somebody else.
It's kind of like
somebody
you built your own walkie-talkie.
That's the idea.
You built your own walkie-talkie. You didn't invent walkie-talkie parts, but you may have invented walkie-talkies going from the handhelds to the earphone sets. And
that's what you
got a patent. Because somebody could make that as soon as they said, oh yeah, let's put them on your head. And so it's just a different application of known stuff.
Right.
Yeah, I thought of that too, but you can get designers rights. If you can't get a patent, you can get designers rights that somebody can't copy you close. I know that is. If you go out and buy all the parts and you assemble that, I've got a good idea on a car heater which will run about the same way.
I said away, I didn't know exactly how to make the circuits, and I thought of something that was almost like it, so I ordered through Popular Science the circuit designs, but then I'm going to use them in a way that they didn't think of, but it's mostly their circuits, but I'm using it in a product that it isn't designed and thought of to be used, and it makes it useful to families. And I'm thinking, well, I'm going to spend $3,000 to have some guy tell me that it isn't even patentable. That's what scared me. The guy says it may not even be patentable, and then you got nothing.
Because you've got parts that belong to somebody else.
You can find a new
for unique use
for another man's patent. See, we had what they call a wood filler over at the shop. And the boss found out that it was good for the fill masonite on the trailers to make a smoother finish. You make it wet, you rub it on, wipe it off. Well, he went and seen the patent attorney, and he says, well, you just found another use for another company's product. You couldn't patent that, see?
You can't patent.
Because
well, I'm saying something that was in the home, like that thing there, but then you said, that would be good to have in a truck, so you found a way to adapt it to 12 volts and then make it a little smaller, and then now you can keep it in your camper. So you didn't invent the blender, you invented a place where people weren't getting to use that kind of use
for it.
Yeah, and so what it is, I talked this through with the attorney, they said, look, you just got to give me $3,000 or I can't tell you anything, I can't tell you.
Yeah, they won't need it.
Well, so what it is they're thinking I want them to tell me it's all safe and okay to do it before I even start. That's what I feel like I'm trying to do. And another guy says, no, you got to just risk it, and you try and you learn, and then you do something else and you try and you learn. It's the only way to get there is to start walking.
Yeah, that's true. It's a step out one.
You have to try them, and you don't know where it's going to take you. You just decide, and you're blowing your money. But you decide that you've got enough confidence.
You don't know you're blowing it. So you don't know if it'll go through okay or not. It's a risk you take, yeah.
And you've ended up to where you're not now out money, but you're not doing it just for money. It's just your head comes up with ideas and you want to make them. But you've learned that you got to patent them because somebody was
If
first.
it's a good deal, they go. But you can't be putting in your disclosure, then start building it and putting it on the market.
So
and if it sells, then go ahead with it. But if it won't sell, stop there. Don't go to an
attorney. I can do this and not risk $3,000 and just find one user and let him tell me what he thinks. And this is a little safer. And if somebody steals it, then I can start with this. So it would be, I would probably be much more confident to spend $3,000 if a couple people used it. Then they'd say, yeah, you know, that'd be confidence builder. If they said, you know, there's a big problem with this, you didn't realize this and that.
If you had the person that you used it at, place, restaurant or whatever, if you had them sign something saying that they would, you know, you wanted them to go ahead and try it and make some kind of a deal with them that they could get it or something at a lower price. Just something to get them to let you put it in and try it.
I think I can get someone to try it. Mine isn't anywhere near as much installation as his.
They wouldn't take the idea.
That would be to get a legal document, which means you have to spend money with a lawyer or it won't count. It seems like.
No, if a person went ahead and you just write up whatever you want.
But I thought you said this thing means that you don't have to go after each individual.
Get it notarized.
This disclosure thing covers all people that you've talked to already, because they could file one and yours would be predated, but they could start filing for a patent right away, and then you would pull this out to say, wait a minute, but you might want to prove that you're talking and have in writing proving that you're communicating. That would be good. It sounds like I'm going to have to dive off this thing and spend my big $10 and then make my model and find someone to use it, and if I get some confidence, then I blow my $1,500 or $3,000 and see where it takes me and have an adventure. Because it's killing me. I can drive around the way home and see
uses for it.
Something that would make it safer for children. And
this designer's rights that you talked about, how does that differ from the disclosure?
I could go out and build a car, but I couldn't build a Ford or a Chevy. Designer's rights, I could make something and market, and we'll say a toaster. Man explains it this way. I have a certain GM toaster is a certain shape.
Yeah.
You can build a toaster, but you can't build one so close to there that when a customer comes along, they don't know but what it's a GE toaster. You can't copy the style.
GM has the designer rights on it.
Yeah, in other words, you can't copy the style.
In other words, they designed it. They designed it.
Which one should he go after with his idea? The disclosure or the design
trying to
rights?
get the patent. If you can't get the patent, then see about designer's rights. In other words, if he put out a product and if it isn't patented and I put out one, it's got to be different, that you know the difference. If mine looks exactly like his, that the customer can't tell one from the other, I'm not allowed to do that.
Well, like for instance, you know your remote control on your TV?
Yeah.
And that turns on and off your TV, and that's the first thing I ever had. What if I then said, well, you know, I could put a remote control that turns on and off your fan, your light up here. Now, that doesn't require anybody can figure the electronics out on that. And so, did I invent just a new use for something else?
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But then if I end up
Can't
making
patent that.
No.
that's where mine's marginal that way, where I have to solve a couple problems. If I start saying I have to solve a couple engineering problems to make it work, and I have to hook up some relays and a couple of controls, but it's really sending the signal from here to there, and it's to give somebody some information they don't have right now that helps them make decisions, then it's sort of...
You know, maybe your idea, if you're taking somebody else's idea and making something better out of it, maybe it would be better for you to go to that company and say,
you can't buy this. You can't go to the store and buy this and take it home and have it. It isn't there. There isn't a system. It's like if you invent the phone, but there wasn't a phone system, I have to have a system that it hooks into communication-wise. But also I've invented the phone, and I also got to get people to have the system that lets everybody need to use it too. You see, like that, there isn't a product out there right now. You have to build this from scratch, because people haven't done it yet. My friend from school said, that's obvious, and I thought of it too, but I'm not an inventor. I don't really care to do that kind of stuff. But you're right, I think that would sell. It'd be like the door lock thing that unlocks your car. That's a little remote control, but I think somebody's got a patent on that, because they got lots of little unique features that make it special. It isn't exactly...
Yeah, that's probably the auto companies probably have a patent on that.
Yeah, that's what it is. I guess I have a fear of just losing thousands of dollars and feeling like a fool. That's
the whole thing to know if it's going to sell. Now, 30, 40 years ago, a friend of mine, he was a skier, and they would hang on this rope going up the hill. Well, it was cold, and it would get snow and freeze, and your hands would slip. He made a little outfit out of aluminum that used like a wrench. You hook it on there, and you go up the hill. When you get up the hill, you take it off, and you clamp it on the ski pole. And he could have had it made for 75 cents a piece, but they could die cast it for about 20 cents. But it would cost $3,000 to make that die. I was in Rochester on some other business time, and I told him, get them made by hand, but he paid a company $3,000, and they made him a whole lot, but they didn't sell. The skiers didn't like that extra weight on that ski pole.
You should have tried it, because you could have made 5 by hand for less than $3,000.
If he made them by hand, if he had to pay $1 a piece to see if the people would buy it.
Don't go to mass production until you're sure you got it right.
That's right.
I know that one.
All right, you take that down. You get your disclosure in there, and you go ahead and you start building them, and you can put patents on them.
Because there'll be problems I haven't foreseen yet when I start trying it out. I mean, I've showed her, I've tried it out, but I need to get it in use with the right people that need it.
You get somebody to sell it for you. Oh, I made fanny warmers of this. I don't want to get all into that, but if it will sell, hey, then
start getting people paying
put
for it.
money in it. But if nobody will buy it, you're out your money.
All right, I think I'm getting braver. What else you got in this picture here?
Oh.
Listen, I found out. Now, I'm artistic. And
a number. So anybody can call in and ask for that number and get the information. Now, it's not a patent.
I think it was just to show you have started to make progress forward. To show you there was a date of establishment.
Isn't it a year? This
2 years.
Okay, I have read about this.
All right.
Okay.
Let's say that we'll start just what you've got to do. Now, I usually sell this kit for $10, and that's a bargain. You send in $10 with your application. Now, it might have gone up, I had heard, but I haven't sent one in. But the last, it was $10, and you've got this on the record. This is so you could go to an attorney with your idea. Yeah, it's a dandy. I'm the attorney, and I stall you off, and I call my buddy in California and say, here's a guy who's got an idea, so-and-so.
That's one of my worries. You're right.
He can put it in while he's getting you ready.
Take my $3,000.
Yeah. But if you've got this in,
that picture.
this on record, because when I said to my attorney, I have a disclosure on my incinerator. Oh, you got a disclosure? Yeah. Well, I've got the jump on them for 6 to 8 months. I've got another one coming up, and I sent the disclosure in January, and I'm going to see the patent attorney at 4 o'clock Friday.
This will take away some fear.
Yes,
Is that much difficult to fill out?
No. Well, then, here is the instructions.
How to fill it.
Right there. First number 1 here is the title of your invention. You give it a name. Number 2, description of structure. Attach number or label or sketch or photograph. You've got to make a sketch of it or take a photograph of it or put something with this that when they look at it, they know what it is and what it's supposed to do. See? So you're an engineer. You can make up a sketch of what you got. All right. Now,
you can include that with it or something.
That will go into that letter. Now, the operation of structure. What does it do? What kind of a work? What's it for? What good is it? Operate. How does the thing work? What are you patenting it for? Electrical benefit, or why are you?
That would be like, who would care? What would be?
So, what's your operation supposed to do? Do a certain job, or serve a certain purpose, or a certain service, whatever it is, as it reads there. Operation of service. Present preferred manner of making structure or practical process. Are you going to make it out of wood, iron, plastic? Number 5, use of invention. What do you use it for? You got an idea, an invention, what are you going to use it for? Is it a lawnmower or what it might be? What is the advantage? Number 6. Why is it an advantage? You put down here why it's better than anything else, or what job it's supposed to do, why you invented it. You had a reason to invent it. Okay? You filled in.
You could just write this by hand if you had to.
Just write it by hand.
There's not much work there. I thought it was a 10-page type thing that had to be on paper.
Here.
But you have to make 2 copies, and then they send one back to you.
Okay.
Here was one of mine. They put
And I heard they really don't read it. They just put it in the file and it's there.
Yeah.
You're just having to save spot.
But you have to send a address envelope for them to send it back and the stamps.
And I also heard
They pay the stamp postage.
that you have to be. This doesn't protect someone else from going for it. You have to show progress that you did
Yeah, but
that you
this
worked on
puts
it.
it on file.
you got a file
This
for
puts
that.
a claim on file, but you got this. That means nobody had it before you, and if they come up with it later, you got this on file ahead of them.
It
You're ahead of them.
doesn't prove that someone else hasn't done this yesterday either.
No, it's not a search.
It's just a little note that's kept in the file. Okay.
There's a little note in the file, but before you go to an attorney or an anonymous research, I've had them come back with nothing, and then after I was almost through, well, I was down to Washington, and I run across this and that, and it was more like my idea. Well, if I'd have known that in the first place, maybe I'd have dropped it. But here's one that I set in, right here. Title of invention, Avery Bernal Incinerator. Description, structure, number, label, sketch, on sketch and photograph. Number 2. Number 3, operational structure, burning waste and recycling stack exhaust. Number 4, present preferred manner of making structure or practicing process, sheet metal, arc welding. Use of invention, incinerating public waste, medical waste, and toxic liquid waste.
It gives you an idea how he answered it.
Yeah.
Let him
Now,
look
it
at
isn't
that.
very complex.
Yeah, let him just kind of look at this.
This is not in legalese or anything.
No, and this would give him an idea how he's got to answer.
Yeah, I got the point.
He's got this right here.
That's the
This right here explains
Yeah, but
these
sometimes you
things.
don't make it
All right.
clear.
All right.
I got you.
Somebody else.
Now, you fill out 2 of them, and then you take an envelope and put your address, name and address, and put a stamp on it, and put it in with this letter. You go to the post office, and you send it by certified mail. You fill this out. When it gets to Washington, they stamp it, sign it, and send it back to you.
You know
This
he got it.
shows you that your letter reached the patent office. Then they will take these 2 here, and they will stamp one and put a number on that, put it in that envelope, and send it back to you.
You better not lose that, though, huh?
Yeah, and this is the number. Here's my number right here on that disclosure, 3375, that number. Now, usually they stamp that right on there. I forgot to send the second one in, so they put that here.
One time he forgot to send the thing in there, so they done it that way. But you got to send the two in and one envelope or to come back to you with
Okay.
it.
That's something that if I'm too chicken to do this, I must not have really wanted to do anything. This is the easiest thing you could possibly do.
It's easy and it protects whatever you
I had to
got.
write more down to get the guy to do the $400 search.
Yeah.
I had to write a whole page out. I hand wrote it, and it sure didn't seem like they
Had
came.
search?
I had him do a search last fall, and it just seemed like they were way
That's
off.
what a patent attorney does.
He looked and said, "Looks like you're all free and clear. No one's doing it." But he was so far off, it seemed like he could have missed it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe there is nothing written there. I don't know.
Was this the same invention or a different one?
Same one? Yeah. I just
Well,
went chicken to spend my money. I've had it for 3 years.
Yeah.
Got to learn how to not do that. Everybody's thinking of.
Yeah. You never know when they'll try to come and take it.
Well, I told my best friend last weekend, and he lives in another state, and he says, I've been thinking somebody's probably going to invent that, but he's never going to do anything. He says, boy, I would buy that in a minute.
Well,
So
there's different literature here of different things that will help you a little bit for your own knowledge along with that. Now, it's not an application, but as I say, you should do this before you do anything else, because you've got to jump on it. You've got it on
it could
file.
be like evidence if there was a conflict. You could say, well,
Yes,
I started
yes,
first.
yes, yes.
you got it on record.
But I heard you
Up
got
to
to
date.
continue to work on it. If you don't do any work and another guy keeps working, they'll say, hey, he earned it. I heard that this doesn't mean you can just relax and not do anything. You got to continue.
Oh yeah, you got to go further.
Yeah, okay,
Go
I've
into
heard
your
that.
patent after that.
Mm-hmm.
But this will protect it so far for 2 years. See?
You got to do it in Canada too?
He had a tank that he had been putting in restaurants. It's the only one he's got going through.
This was my first patent. Since I retired. And that
didn't come out. It didn't pan out. But we tried it.
Yeah.
Gifford, my patent attorney, got
This
it
is
for
you,
me.
huh?
This is me. That's my name there and my patent, and that's my drawings. Now I installed 24 of them. There's one in at Whitey's. Wally East has got one, and the Wally Supper Club, and all over the country. Now how that works.
But then it got stopped because he had to put a double wall thing.
And then I sold the
I
patent,
don't know when they'll do something.
and it's in Ohio
Was
now.
it for safety or something that you wanted to do?
Yeah, safety.
No, it's for double
For the
wall
double
for safety,
wall,
but this is energy cost cutting.
Well, you know what? You would be interested in this. You know, in the kitchen, she designs hospital kitchens.
Hospital kitchen?
I'm a dietitian.
Oh.
The hot water that when you wash a lot of dishes,
Yeah.
you made a thing to save the hot water heat and use it over again.
Oh,
And that
yeah.
saves some energy.
Yeah. Instead of that water going down the drain, about $3 an hour, it comes in, you pump it up in this tank. And this tank is full of hot wastewater, and the cold water comes in, and comes up through these coils, and then goes into the hot water tank. And you've got water 100 degrees before it goes in the hot water tank.
Mm-hmm.
So the fire just has to raise it another 40 degrees. It's a tremendous energy
Oh,
saver.
yeah.
Now that took
So
2 years.
somebody else.
That took 2 years, and it cost me $1,450.
You had to build prototypes, though, too.
I just set up a shop, and I went to building them, and
Yeah.
I had to go over to Lansing. It took me 1 year to get it through Lansing. They authorized me to install 2 as pilot models. I put in one
With
what's
Lansing,
called,
because you had to get official health department and all that stuff.
Yeah.
the plumber's code and
No,
the Department of Labor in Lansing and all that stuff. It just took me about 3 months before I could even get on the agenda.
When they're in the restaurant and you get a check for money, is that very satisfying to know that you were right?
Well, yeah, but you see, the restaurant owners is the one that makes the money on it. Well, anyway, 2 pilots run for 1 year, then they give me authorization to manufacture and install anywhere in Michigan. Then later, they came up with another code.
A couple of years later, then.
A code that you had to have a double wall.
Yeah.
So they
You
would
had to put one copper tube inside of another. So if it sprung a leak, it would leak out on the floor.
Right. They don't want, yeah, that's right.
You wouldn't get into the water.
I built one. It's into Little Joe's out in.
We built it. We pulling that
Well,
other.
we built it. Yeah, Mary helped me.
We built it.
And then you bent them together?
Yeah.
I made the machine to roll that. I made a tube roller that just rolled any size coil I wanted to. See? And then that was in about 6 years.
Geez, you might develop a leak in it after bending it that much, more than,
Well,
than that. You know, because you got 2 tubes in there, but
Yeah.
anyway, that's...
anyway, instead of putting 2 1-inch coils, I put 3 half-inch coils. I still got good efficiency. But I sold it. I sold it to a local manufacturer. And he set up to build, and now it's down in Ohio in storage. I don't know what's come of it, but it's a good, proven product.
So
right
you get
there.
a finite amount of money. When you're all done, you sell it, then you just get... you don't get any long-term...
I sold it for $25,000. Then...
So that funds the next couple of projects.
Yeah.
A little bit, huh?
Then I had to have a safety valve on there. So if there was a water pressure failure into the building, like if a main broke, so the water couldn't back up and go from
Check valve.
They call it, a backflow eliminator. Well, I had to have a way of draining that. So I had a solenoid, electrical operated valve, on a pressure.
Yeah, that's just control stuff. That's doable.
Yeah, and the solar, but it was about a $400 or $500 bill to buy them valves and get electricians to come in and hook it up.
Yeah.
So
The invention was the act of just saving the heat. Everything else, if you had told a heating contractor, he says, "Oh, I could make that," but you had the idea.
Yeah, well, it's manufactured. I made the dies and center part. This here, it works with a diaphragm, and it works on water pressure. The water pressure holds this 2-inch valve closed.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's a pressure failure, when the pressure drops below 15 pounds, these springs pushes this up, and it opens the valve, and it drains that tank. When the pressure comes back on, it closes the valve, and the tank fills, and it goes on.
That's the feature that makes the system really function well.
Yeah,
Not
and
just the heating
that
system, a lot more to it.
that could be nationwide. That valve is very, very valuable.
The whole valve is a new invention too, then.
Yeah, we got the patent on that. Now, the man that bought it, the patent is in my name, because whoever invents it has to have the patent in their name.
And this is who's now assigned. So you never get taken off there.
No, my name is on there, and the assignee should be Alfred J. And the assignees is Good News Unlimited. That's out at Dryden.
There was not a pressure-operated valve? I thought that was, well, I mean, I know there's air-actuated valves like that, but not water pressure.
That will work on water, air, liquid, if anything.
I thought we had those that work, but where one pneumatic thing operates another pneumatic thing.
Well, I don't know.
But maybe for water there hasn't been, because most people don't do controls with water. They do it with hydraulic fluid or with air, but not with dishwater.
Well, anyway, the attorney got me that patent, and on the tank, we got a patent in Canada. That's patented in Canada.
That was not the same amount of cost to do it in Canada?
I don't know what they paid in Canada. It's not so much, because they just take copy from the U.S. and take it to Canada, and this is what...
If I had something that cold weather was, the farther north you were, the more it was valuable, you'd want to cover Canada then, wouldn't you?
Well, yeah. And it's easy to do.
Not
In fact, 2 men come over from Canada to the shop and said they wanted to distribute them in Canada.
Listen to this.
And they went right back to Canada and built one.
Build them themselves.
They just wanted to see one, huh?
They wanted to see how his was made.
They saw how it was made, the court hearing to install, and the plumbers wouldn't install it until they took it to Lansing and got it approved. So they took it back to Canada, and the attorney sent them a letter, and that stopped it. Then they bought one of mine, and it went into the Harvest House, I think it is that up here, and one of ours went in out there. So that was the tank business. Then the third one is this incinerator.
Didn't you find out, he asked you a question, didn't you find out that he had made them because somebody called, knew that you were making them or something? They thought you had made theirs.
Tom Sedgwick was in on that deal.
Yeah, they were
You
selling
found
them.
out through the grapevine.
They were bad, see, and the people were complaining.
Yeah.
And it got down the grapevine, got back to him.
Well, the one he made was the,
Yeah, because they thought he had...
I've lost 3 of them. A good idea, they grab it quick.
Yeah.
They will.
Yeah.
I
How
had
did they find out?
That's
Just by
right, better
talking?
not
Well,
to
they-
tell people.
I had an anti-lock deal. You put it around the steering column on your car and put a padlock on it. Then you can't get a key in there to turn the switch on. And, by the way, that was on for 2 years, and I never went ahead with it. 6 months later, I'm out in the AAA magazine.
You think somebody read it?
Somebody, they tell you that in Lansing that these things goes in the scrap after 2 years.
So somebody just waits.
Then, no, they see it and they take it home with them. That's what's happened.
I think the attorneys sell it.
Before 2 years?
You
well,
know,
that's what he's
Not
trying to.
before 2 years, but after.
Have one to get people excited about, and people will go, "Whoa, wow, that would be great."
If you're building a few, then you don't only have a patent, you have a business. I installed 24 of them, not all. I built 7 of the tank. Well, I've got a business going. When the company bought me out, they didn't buy only the patent. They got all of my equipment to go with it to start building it. So I sold a business, not just something on a piece of paper.
when you got something, then you know it works, and you can say, this works. I've tried it.
Yeah.
And then, see, they know it works, but you say, I got it here, and look at this, instruction, and it works. But this is the way it's been with his last thing. He had it on paper, and he tells people about it, but yet they're not enthused about it, because he don't have a Tyler model, see? But if you got a model, you got one step ahead.
Well, all right, this has made me feel a little less fearful about the thing. One thing is you haven't mentioned $5,000 yet. And some people have said, well, they tell you it's 3 to 5, but you didn't spend 20. Is that
Who
good?
told you 3 to 5?
Well, one attorney told me it would take 3 to 5 to apply for one. To
5
expense
years?
$1,000.
Oh.
And then another guy said, well, every time I do it, it ends up being 20 over the long haul. You end up spending
How much?
$20,000.
20,000.
And by the nickel and dime you to death along the way. And maybe that's just his attorney, but 3 to 5 is what I read.
Well, Gifford has never wanted to give me a price, but Friday I'm demanding a price on the next patent I'm getting. I want to know just how much it's going to cost me, because right here is a letter that's all of the different things beware of.
They want to just bill you, and they love that system.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I don't want.
And the other patent attorney said they can, and they should say, I'll get you a patent on that. If it's patentable, I'll get you a patent for so many dollars.
And that's what another fellow, a friend of mine from school does patents for chemicals, and he says they should be able to give you at least within $500 quote.
Yeah.
Or they're just going to, once they're in it, they're going to just keep asking you for more, and you're going to give it to them.
Yeah.
Yes.
He said you
So what
should.
are you going to do?
He said you should. If they don't want to give you a price, you should go somewhere else.
Get 'em
He
down, yeah.
said they should tell you it's $3,500 to $3,800, but they always like to say it depends on this and it depends on that, and I just feel like I'm being taken because I ought to be able to get something for my service.
Right.
They want to just do research and research. After I make a couple, I'll throw the money that way, but geez.
Have you ever done your own research?
Hmm?
Have you ever done your own research at the library?
No, I never have, but you can go down there. If I was 10, 15 years younger, I'd make my own patent. You can do that just to have the satisfaction of doing it. You go out, there's companies that makes this, so you hire them to make it, you take it down to every 3 years you have to pay maintenance to maintain, or your patent will elapse.
Every 3 years.
Every 3. The first time it comes due in 3 years, and it's every 4 years.
Is that to update the fields of search?
Your own patent, if you make one, he's talking
Now,
yeah, you make your own patent.
well, like this one right here, I got a letter from my patent attorney. It was $650 for the attorney fee.
For maintenance?
Or for maintenance fee.
Wow.
Yeah, 3 years, and then it's every 4 years. It was due.
Maintenance. I wonder what they're doing with...
It has something new, something more they come up with to get your money.
That's right.
So I called the patent office.
17 years, it ought to be good.
The first patent on the tank, there is no maintenance. The law hadn't come out. But on this it did. But I called the patent attorney, trademark patent in Washington. I asked for the maintenance department, and I gave them this patent number. They gave me the patent number, the serial number, and what number I should put on the paper, on the letter, and put in a check for $450 and send it, which I did, and it paid the maintenance fee. If I'd have paid the patent attorney, I saved $165.
It was just to...
by sending it in instead of paying him, see?
So you found out how to do maintenance. And it was just... it was just identifying their document on your document and sent it to them. I wonder what that accomplishes. I don't know. More maybe.
Well, it's something there. If you don't do it, maintenance is some way they've got of getting more money about it. But when you get them numbers down there and record them, you can. I found out I can call any department down there and this document or this year or.
It helps get cross-referencing then.
Yeah.
But they're giving you the information you're giving them. So you aren't adding anything to it. You're just giving them what they told you back to them, right?
On which is that now?
Maintenance. You call
maintenance.
them up and you get something, and you put an envelope back to them, and then you give it for them.
Yeah. Like this, like your patent now. When you get your patent, make a note somehow that in 3 years you know there's a maintenance fee. Now, normally your patent attorney will notify you, but if he doesn't notify you, and if you forget about it, I don't know, you might lose your patent. I don't know the patent office. You got 6 months, I think it is, to pay.
Okay.
But that would be one thing you'd want to do. But if you send that in 2 copies, an envelope, certified mail, and get that on record, you're pretty safe to start building a celly.
Where I got a patent. Well, you mean even this would be safe?
Yeah, send that in, and then, of course, go ahead with your patent attorney if you intend to get a patent.
Yeah, I'm at a stage where to learn more, I got to try it with people that would use it. I got to let them try. Says, how do you like this? I got to get out and get that experience because it's.
Well, do that first because you could spend.
And then find somebody that lets you try it in their place.
But I know a lot of people will see it once it's out, and it's also something that companies that I want. When you're done here, I want to talk about the nature of the invention, so you could see some of my fears about starting. So I don't know where you're going, but
others can grab it. Yeah.
Yeah. I want you to go through what you had first, what you had to show me.
Well, I want to show you the patents, and that is the main instruction to fill that up. By the way, you can get more copies of them if you want to. So if you mess up one, see?
Yeah, you can run them off on a
and let's
I
see.
do all typing. I go with everything.
That tells you that it's only a document disclosure. It is not a patent disclosure. And this is some instructions here that I've typed up. And this I got through the Inventor Council. It's telling here...
there is some kind of an inventor's thing in Ann Arbor you can go to.
I belong to that. Yeah, I haven't for a long time.
Is it a good thing to be a part of?
It was interesting. It's down by Dearborn somewhere now. There's Zimmer is the man is in charge, but I never went down there because, it never done me any good. They have patent attorneys there, and
it seems like they're just trying to get you to start spending your money, but not really encouraging you.
We went down to Ann Arbor.
You didn't need what they had to give, huh?
They just had the meetings and they'd have a special speaker there to tell you about something.
Would you think that...
For the young
Would
people,
tell
they
you
probably
about
do it.
It may. There's a possibility that there's men goes there just to look for ideas.
They might get you to talk about it, and they...
Yeah.
They might, and
Well, I
of
mean, not
course,
need that.
you go to that meeting. I can get you the number.
But I think with this, my only issue is to get an attorney I trust with my money. That's the issue, because I don't know how to pick one. I've talked to one already, and I just didn't feel good about it. I just didn't feel that he would give me straight answers.
I got the yellow pages in one, and I could take him. I think he's working every day, and he's just acting as an agent for another attorney somewhere, the way he talked. And then the one that worked for Doug Hogan, he's, I've never met him, Mark Makowicz, I think his name is, I got it. He will give a price, and I was going to see him. He comes to Flint, but Gifford got me these patents here. These three all come through Gifford. He's down in Birmingham.
Do they specialize to where if it's a chemical thing, it's one kind of guy, and if it's electrical, it's another?
Well, it could be, because there's a row of guys in that office.
Do you believe that they wouldn't pursue one if they didn't think it was going to go? One fellow tells me you never know what's going to go. So they pursue anybody who wants to write them a check, they'll do them because they never can. They can't judge. The attorney just says, I'll work on the problem, but I can't tell you that it won't. He says he's been surprised so many times when he thought it was foolish and it ended up being a moneymaker.
Yeah.
So you think that
That has happened.
if you want to pay him to work on it, they'll work on it. They usually won't turn it down. I went to one of those invention submission places, and I felt like that was a ripoff too. I went there and went to a seminar and listened to them, and they would like Idea Group or something, one of those.
Yeah.
And it seemed like what they were researching, and I learned that's at the library. I don't need to do that.
One time we went down to Ann Arbor. See, I'm making greeting cards, unusual ones, not like you find on the market. And so I was trying to find out, how can I patent these things? What do I got to do? Because that's different than this kind of patenting thing. But I wanted to patent my idea, because the minute I get it out around people, it'll spread all over things.
Craft stuff moves fast.
Yeah, and so I was talking to this one guy. He said, well, this one attorney, he says, you should talk to this attorney. So I went and talked to him. He said, well, there's no use me talking to you about it. He said, I'll come to your house. I want to see them and see what they look like and see whether it's worth patenting, or whether it'd be any good. And I said,
His phone, Ernest, Gifford. His phone number is 313-647-6000. And his office is in Birmingham, down by Detroit.
give her the address. She's writing it down.
His address is 280 North Woodward Avenue, Suite 400.
That's
400. Birmingham, Michigan, 48009.
So some attorneys won't tell you about this, and that should be a clue right there. If they say, well, do this first. If they're not even telling you about doing this, you might even be so...
Yeah, you don't have to really mention that if you don't want it to the attorney.
But he may not want you to do this.
Oh,
He may not mention it to you.
well, but whether he does or not, it's to your benefit to have it.
It may be to his benefit not to tell me to do it.
Gifford was
Because
surprised you about it. See,
my attorney acted a little surprised when I said I have a disclosure for some
So I
time.
thought disclosures I had to, like if I was going to tell you about it, I had to sign to make you promise not to disclosure, but that's not it. It's a public non-disclosure. You don't have to get everybody you tell to sign a non-disclosure. Okay.
Well,
right to Washington.
this man, there's a bunch of them. There's 2, 4, 6, 8. There's 9 patent men in that one building or in this one corporation.
Well, you know those little paper shredders that are in the garbage cans, the little ones like that?
I've never seen
Well,
it.
they hang over the edge of a garbage can, and you can just drop your
Paper
in there. And I wrote one for that and went to one of those invention submission places, and I did it in about 1987 or 6 when I thought, well, everybody's going to want to shred their computer stuff and their credit card things, and that's for sale everywhere now in office supply places. But somebody searched that. They searched it. Well, I did it in one of those companies that takes your money and then researches it for you. Patent, like Ideas Incorporated or something. And my friend that's an attorney said, don't give it to them. They'll take it. They'll take your money and tell you it's no good, and then somebody else will have it. They don't protect you legally in any way. And I did it before any of those are out, so I know that something that I can think of could be sold because somebody's selling it. I just didn't do it. Whether or not they got it from me or not, I'll never know.
No, you
But I know that I have some more of the ideas because somebody did it.
Wasn't there one of your ideas that ended up down in California? What was it? Something that you give to the patent attorney on something. You didn't have the patent yet.
Oh, maybe it's that robotic forklift.
No, it wasn't that. Something.
But these, you
he
go
felt
in
that
you go in a
he
paper.
felt the attorney had given him given him the thing. I can't think
Oh,
of what.
oh, you mean the restaurant man in California?
No, not him. Oh, maybe it was him.
Yeah, I gave him
Well, no, but before he came up here, you thought that the patent attorney had somehow let somebody down there or him know. He always felt the patent attorney was the one that let it out to somebody else.
You never know.
But he comes up here to California and then wants to see it.
well, this face is a bump shop maker.
Bill Homemaker.
Homaker. And his phone number is 313-645-1483.
Now, that's 810.
Well, 810 is the same thing. 810 is replacing
Just put
313.
810 is replaced.
Okay.
Instead of 313?
Just put 810 right there.
Well, then you'll get it either way because
Just change
by
that.
fall, 313 is going to fade away.
Yeah, okay.
That's
That's
what
why I
he
gave
gave.
you my number that way.
Okay.
Okay.
So he's the one that told me he would give me a price on my patent.
Okay, that's good to know.
But I still changed my mind. I thought being Gifford got me these three, I should talk to him first. And if he'll give me a price that sounds reasonable, then I will stay with him because he did get three and he can get the fourth one. Now, if you want to talk to the people on this Inventors Council,
Yeah.
you call 313-663-8000. And you ask for Mr. Zimmer. Zimmer, Zimmer. And they can, or there'll be a girl acting. Now, that's where the Flint Journal got their information. That was in the paper because I gave them this number. See? So, if you ever want to go down there.
Well, I want to be cautious that some people may want to get me to tell them stuff and advise me, and then they're going to take it because they know that's a good place to go fishing. But it might be a good place. But really, you're telling me the stuff I need to know, so that could only be a time waster. Because until I got it covered, I'm taking a risk.
Yeah. You've got to keep, you can't keep it a secret, you know. You've got
What
to.
he's trying to tell you, something he's got so simple that when he tells us, people are going to see it.
Well, that's what I want to know is when you get done with this, I want to talk about some of my fears, and maybe you'd say, oh, don't worry about that. But
See,
I don't
that's
know what you've got left to tell me. I want to respect that, but I still want a chance to ask you some
Tell
questions.
them it's patent pending. First, you get that in. You're ahead of everybody else.
I'll do
And
that.
whoever you talk to, say it is patent pending. Patent procedure in order. I put that on some of my prints. Patent procedure in order. To let you know, or you let me know, that you're in the process of getting a patent. See, and I'm not going to try and jump in ahead of you because I'm too late. You've already got that on record now. See?
Well, okay. What else do you have? I still have some other questions, but I want to let you go through your packet.
Well, that's the number there, the Zimmers and so forth on that. And you could talk to, you put that in, then if you want to talk to a patent attorney, I would talk to Gifford. He's been honest with me, and with that other man, I haven't talked to him, but he must be good. He wouldn't have got Hogan where he did. See?
All right.
And if you talk to Gifford, you tell him, you talk to me and so forth, and I'll be seeing Gifford 4 o'clock Friday night. And I can get his card, and I can tell him that I knew another young man that might be interested in a patent if he can. I always say now, if I can get the money, I just don't say, go ahead and whatever the bill is, I'll pay it. See, I'm interested in a patent if I can come up with the money. Now, what are you going to charge me? See, that's the way you want to approach it.
Yeah.
Just like he got one for $14.50 and the next one $3,600, more than twice.
Oh, yeah, $3,000 to $5,000 in the ballpark.
The more men in it, the more it'll cost.
Yeah.
See, we formed a corporation. There were 5 members in the corporation.
So they get cut.
We had to pay much more than if I got it an individual.
Oh, you got it. They didn't help you out because it cost more because they had to cover all those names.
If the more people there is, the more it costs.
And if you got 500 men or more working, then it goes up way up.
Oh, because
corporation.
To be one?
A corporation can't get a patent for what a private individual.
They wouldn't want to fight for a small thing. It costs them too much to bother. That's what one person told me. They really don't want to go steal the little guy's ideas that much because it ruins their reputation and it gets a bad press and it costs a lot to go to court and all that with the corporation. Unless they think they really need to fight the battle, they'll stay out of it.
And to deal with the automotive companies, which I've been doing for 40 years, is a waste of time. They'll tell you nothing confidential, no material returned, no explanation if we reject it. Besides, no engineer, they give it to their engineers. No engineer wants somebody to come in off the street. They just sell his boss something that I was getting paid for to do if I'm an engineer.
I just heard just to stay out of it because they don't know how to work.
I don't want you to come in and sell my boss. He'll ask me how come I didn't.
We have a certain part of the company is supposed to invent things and everybody else is not supposed to. It seems like, I know it's not officially that way, but it seems like it would be hard for them to respect my thoughts because I'm not into the business. But I've invented a lot of things to solve problems at work and at home, but they aren't things we go, they're just machine problems, you know. You design stuff, that's what you do for a living. But,
somebody called me, and I don't know who it is, about it the other day. He's got a little thing that has a cam on 2 gears. And if I marked it down, it slipped my mind. It comes to me today. I don't know who he is.
That was the first man that called you,
wasn't it?
it?
It might have been Tom Burns.
No, I think it was the other man, the first man that called you.
Where'd he call from?
I don't know. You didn't get his address. You just got his phone number. You're going to meet with him Saturday, remember?
Oh, 12 o'clock Saturday.
Yeah, well, he's going to come.
I've got so many numbers on that my drawing board. I just read them off there. I don't know.
Yeah, Saturday is going to be here, but
completely forget.
Got a good secretary there.
He's the one that talked about the cam thing. You talked with me afterwards about
Got 2 little gears and a cam. He first wanted to know if I would go in 50-50, and I said, oh, I've got about 12 of them things in there waiting. 10 or 12 of them just closed. Plus, I got my incinerator at Lansing. I'm working with a DNR, and I got one coming up on the motor, that a new deal on a combustion engine, that I'll see him on Sunday. So, well, I'm glad you remembered this. I completely forgot it. Well, it's interesting. And I love to draw on the board, get a cup of coffee, and sit down there.
It sounded like you did, according to the article.
Yeah.
When
When I applied for my first patent,
time in there on the drum board.
In 1928. Do you know what a research, there's a 2-cent stamp on the letter. A research cost $5. $25 you could file an application. I had an accessory for a Model T for it, and I never did go through with it because I couldn't get the $25.
Oh, yeah, way back
If you
then.
worked and got $1 a day, you done good, you know. It took all your money to eat. And,
What did you do for a living? What?
well,
All kinds of things.
I grew up in the farm, and then I went to work out, and I worked around Alpena, coal passing on boats and all that stuff. I worked at the Buick in 1929. I was 18. If you wasn't 18, they wanted you, they'd hire you. There was no. And I went to work in July, and in 1929, the Hoover days, I worked there 6 months. We were working overtime. We came in on a Monday morning and Monday afternoon, and there wasn't a card in the rack throughout Buick plant. Every man on days and every man on nights was laid off. And it was 4 years before they ever started hiring. That was in November of 29, and in 32, my 3 weeks, my older brother got called back, and he worked for 35 cents an hour in the Buick. You imagine that. Today it's $15 an hour. And in 32, another brother got in. In 34, Roosevelt come out with the NRA, the National Recovery Act, and they started hiring, and I got into Buick, or Chevy. In 37, they laid off everybody again, and then I got into Palace Corporation, and I spent 17 years at Palace. I didn't go back to Shirley because I liked that better, see. Then they discontinued in about 55, and then I went in more ironworks fabricating. I was in charge of production. There's where I made a lot of things, a lot of dyes and pictures. So then in 70, my leg gave up with arthritis. Well, I'm still connected over there. I go over quite often, and they're getting the plant going, and now I got a deal there. I can recycle the stack exhaust on an incinerator. We take that exhaust air and cool it and clean it, restore the oxygen, pump it right back in the firebox, and keep that circle going, and nothing going up in the air. The DNR man don't want to believe me, but
They're stalling.
But I had a heavy fire for 27 minutes.
See, he made a pilot model, and he tried it once, so get your model made.
Well, what makes you get an idea? Do you see a problem that needs to be solved, or do you go out and look for problems?
No, that's the way it was in the shop. That's how I got that taper deal.
Yeah.
So
We couldn't keep up on that job. Wherever there was a bottleneck in the line, I figured out something to help it. And we had to climb ladders down to paint up the top, and I built spray guns with a 5-foot handle on them. And the guy stood right on the floor, and he sprayed them houses down so far, then the next man unfrozen. Hey, we eliminated all the catwalks and the step ladders and that, and I made spinner deals, and
you had to find a need and fill it. You didn't try to.
Find a need and fill it.
Okay.
Would you do me a favor? Go in the dresser and get that blue picture of the motor there. There's my paint dryer. I want to show you that.
What else do you have in your stack? What else do you have in your stack here? You keep
exactly. That's everything in this here, and I want to give you this.
Well, hey, I appreciate it.
This is an interesting little book that I made up and Mary printed it. Yeah, no, the whole thing, the whole pack. There's something in there.
Oh, I didn't have it laying on top. You want the top on the bottom?
Yeah, the whole pack there. I sent away years ago and got a book of all of these old-fashioned things.
I got one of these.
You got one of them?
Yeah, I got this. It's wait a minute.
Is that what you want?
This is
pack.
Modern machining. It's little black books. It's your dad's books. I got them. I got this at home. This
You have?
Is there a little leather bound?
My dad was a machinist.
Machine shop guy.
That's where he got it.
Machine shop lathe operator and planer operator, but it's there's just pages and pages of planetary gears and all that.
Yeah, them two there is.
Well, I got a whole encyclopedia that says modern shop practices is what the books are. The foundry work and
It's taking longer than I thought.
So why did you include this in the book?
Oh, because it's interesting to look at.
There's a lot of little mechanisms that you can use to solve problems. Not everybody knows these.
Yeah, it's just a lot of, just to let you know how people think, But I wrote in there, what to beware of and how to...
This is just your collection of your knowledge then.
Yeah.
That's interesting. You get a lot of people call you up and want to talk to you?
Yeah.
This is typical then, huh?
Yeah.
How did they find about you? The article?
Well, in the paper.
Well, am I the first one since Sunday, or?
No, there's 3 so far. But see, that was in a year ago, my big incinerator, and then a year and a half, then a year ago, there was...
I'm dragging along making a commitment.
Thomas Edison was building the storage battery, and the same battery is in your car today. They haven't changed it any. They've different kinds of battery, but the old lead battery. But this used to be a common saying. At the end of the day, he said to his helper, we have tried 80 formulas? And the helper says, yes, and what has it got us? He says, well, there's 80 formulas that we know just won't work.
Well, I heard it was 10,000, but...
Well, in Alpena, he died in the early 30s. And in Alpena, they cut the lights off for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3, in memory of Thomas Edison. There was a lot of talk about him, and I used to...
I've been to his labs. I've been to Henry Ford Museum and went to every exhibit there, so I would get to feel, and I've been to Orville and Robles' shop and Firestone's shop. I go in there to see how they, and sometimes I did that because I said they did all this in this little building, and I got a bigger building than they ever had. What's my excuse? I got space, I got more money, I got the education, I got the ideas, but I'm chicken.
Chicken to spend the money.
No, you're not, son. Don't feel that way. I can see something in you don't see. You've got it.
Part of it is I need to move to where I got a place.
Yeah, you're trying to want to do a lot all the time to get them all done.
Well, I've had this for a good 3 years.
Relax,
Cool
with that.
I'm going to be...
Any other ideas, write them down.
I'm going to be making asphalt paint from car tires in the near future, too. I guess that started. Get time.
He started a pretty big fire out back, burning tires. The neighbor called the fireman. He had to do whatever. He did. Burst his tire and got
and make a big issue. Well, what is it? Ask me questions. See what I can do to help.
Okay, this is to explore my fears of futility and why bother and all that. And I'll just won't tell you the idea, but I'll tell you a general. Okay.
Yeah.
It's something that if I built the prototype and the right people saw it, I guess that's like every invention. They could make it in a week, that company could make it. Like if say it was a tape recorder, then Motorola could make one because they build prototypes fast, and they can make it in an instant. And that's why I figure I would worry that they'll take my little baby away from me so quick. But that's what the patent system is for.
But that's disclosure.
Yeah.
And I know I could
That
at least
disclosure
promote
should take
something.